Hey guys, so we're gonna try this one more time. I was on earlier, but the internet at school went down, and so I had to rush over to my house to use my internet here because it's way better. So I'm just getting a little situated right now. So if you guys can just bear with me a little bit. All I'm going to do right now is just share the new link on Facebook and Twitter so that you guys can join me live. So sorry if I'm out of breath. Just give me 1 second here. And okay. Okay, so my internet connection is a lot better here at my house, so we'll be able to get through this Q&A a little bit quicker than at school, because honestly, I don't know if it's my computer or if it's the actual internet, like because it's on a college campus, like too many people are using it or something. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go ahead and I've shared the link. So far right now I don't have any viewers, but well, I guess I shouldn't be saying that. I have millions of viewers right now and there's so many people tuned in watching. But I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just get started. I mean, whether you're live or not, either way you get to see this video anyway. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just jump right into it and start answering the questions. I had to write them down because I didn't want to be, like on my phone trying to look for them, so I just wrote them down. Some of them are still on my phone, ones that I got after because I wrote them down last night. So enough blabbering. So let's get started. Okay, so the first question came in through Twitter, and it was from Alibama Murillo, and her Twitter handle is @GorgeousBama. And so she asked, do you plan on being a talk show host as a career, or what made you join the Chop Shop crew? Unfortunately, no. I'm not planning on pursuing any type of talk show host career or radio personality or anything like that. I'm actually studying to become a teacher. So I'm currently a double major at Sonoma State. I'm a Spanish and Chicano studies major. So what I want to do with that is I want to get my teaching credential and eventually start teaching. I want to start K through 12 and then work my way up to probably college. And then this year, it just occurred to me that I actually want to try out teaching at a prison. So this semester, I get the opportunity to actually go and visit San Quentin, which is a state prison here in California. So I get to go and visit it. I'm doing research, so that's part of my research. So I'm really excited, and hopefully I get, I kind of get to network and meet some people that hopefully in the future can help me out if, the time comes. Sorry, you guys, I need to sit down. I was kind of like kneeling down on the floor, but my feet are hurting. So, okay. I just don't want a weird background for you guys. So yeah, I actually want to become a teacher. So what made me, I guess, join the Chop Shop crew, or how I kind of got involved with the Chop Shop, was our host, Benny Fuego. It was actually, this is his dream, a dream of his to start a podcast, a radio show, something like that, where we can talk about, just faith. And he's really into music, so, he wanted to talk about music and stuff also. And so when, I think we talked about this, on one of the earlier episodes, about kind of how the Chop Shop began and what it's about and all that stuff. So, but I'll just go a little over it. So, yeah, it was a dream of his. So when Ruthie and Ben came back from Hawaii, they, it started off with both of them, discussing music, and, they had interviews and stuff. And then during the time when Benny had to get knee surgery, he had asked Joe and I to join Ruthie on a roundtable discussion about the same-sex marriage that was going on. So, I was like, sure, what's one week or one episode, that I get to help on. So Joe and I helped that episode, and then it went really great. We all vibed with each other really well, and we had really good chemistry, on the air. So Ben, in his kind heart, decided to just ask Joe and I to join the group and officially be part of the Chop Shop family. So, I said, yeah, I'll help you guys out and whatever. And then, so we've kind of been, working at it, and it's been a really fun experience. It's been, even though I see Ben and Ruthie and Joe, every week at church, because we do attend the same local church. Even though I see them every week, I think this just has been a different experience, and we've gotten to get to know each other, differently, and it's been really fun. So, yeah, I was really surprised when Ben asked me to be part of it, because I was like, really? You want me to be on your show? But yeah, so that's kind of how I got involved with the Chop Shop, and how I, was involved with it. And so far it's been great. So that was our first question. Thank you, Alibama, for your question. She was the first person to send us questions. So, okay, our next four questions are from Fabiola, who is actually one of the young ladies at our church, from our local church. So she asks, one, what's your favorite color? Okay, my favorite color is teal, or kind of like a mixture between teal and aqua green, kind of. I actually have a few examples if you guys want to see. So my yoga mat is, that color. I have a grocery bag, and it looks kind of funny because it has like holes in it, but I actually got this at Whole Foods. I just thought it looked like a net, and I really, okay, those who really know me, I love mermaids, and I love water and the ocean and all that stuff. So it reminded me of a net, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. So, you know, this kind of color, my laptop keyboard, it looks blue on the screen, but it's actually like a aquamarine color. So yeah, that's my favorite color. How old are you? I'm 21 years old. We're young, however you want to see it. What is your full name? Okay, my full name, brace yourselves, you guys. Evelyn Fabiola Sustento 00. Just kidding. No, yeah, that's actually my full name, but I'll slow it down. It's Evelyn with an I, Fabiola, just like this, her name, Fabiola, Sustaita 00. So in Mexico, you usually take on, well, here in the United States, you only take on the father's last name, but in Mexico, you actually take both last names. So I was born in Mexico, so I do have both my mom and my dad's last names, which I'm so grateful for. So that, yeah, you guys know my full name. My favorite animal, you know what? I don't know. If mermaids were real and they were considered an animal, I would probably say a mermaid, but because they're not, I guess that won't count. I used to really like zebras in high school. I loved zebra print and, you know, black and white and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think I would say my favorite animal is probably a whale. I really like killer whales or orcas. I think they're so cute. Or just any sea animal, like a starfish. I like sea urchins too. I think they're really cool. So I have more than one favorite animal. So yeah, those were Fabiola's questions. Thank you, Fabiola, for supporting this Q&A and sending me questions. These next few questions, they're gonna seem kind of random, which they actually are. They're from one of my longtime friends, or friend, one friend. It's one friend who's sending these questions. But yeah, so she asked a few questions, more than a few. So I've known this girl, her name is Eva Viviana. We call her Vivi. I actually met her in 7th grade. So we've been friends for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 9 years. So almost 10 years. So she asks, what are you most proud of? Ooh, wow. What am I most proud of? I guess what I'm most proud of would probably be my academic accomplishments. I am the first one in my family to go to college, to go and actually graduate college. I mentioned earlier I'm at Sonoma State, so after high school I went to the junior college, and then I was there for 3 years, and I graduated, and so I transferred, and so now I'm at Sonoma State finishing up my bachelor's degree. So I do have an associate degree for whatever that's worth, but I would have to say that there was a few times where you know, I really wanted to quit, and I wanted to just get a job and work, you know, and you know, a lot of my friends didn't continue on to college, and so, you know, I would see them, you know, working, and they had like, you know, brand new cars, and we're always going out and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, I did get, you know, I would kind of see them be like, oh, like I wish I could do that, or I wish I had the money to get a new car or something. But I'm really glad I stuck to it, and I finished, and you know, I got good grades. So yeah, I think that's what I'm most proud of up to this point. I'm really proud of sticking to school and not letting, you know, money or like I mean, I have a social life. I'm not a complete loser, but you know, going out all the time with my friends, um, I'm really proud that I didn't let all of that get to me, and that I was able to finish really strong and continue on my academic endeavors. So that's what I'm most proud of. Um, she asks, "How come you don't go out with Vivi?" Okay, um, because you don't invite me anywhere. Why are you so amazing? Okay, I think she's just having fun with these questions, you guys. I swear that's what it says, or that's what she asks. I don't know. Jesus made me amazing. What's your favorite part of the day? I would say it's between the morning and nighttime. The morning will, you know, like that time, like around like 5 to 6 in the morning, how it still kind of seems like nighttime. I kind of like that part of the morning, you know, like seeing the sunrise, and I don't know. I like that part of the day, even though I'm not awake most of the times at that time. I'm not, okay, this is kind of, it's gonna sound really, I don't know, what is it? Not controversial, but I don't know what the word is. But I'm not a morning person necessarily, but I like that time of the day because I feel like if when I do get up early, you know, to go to work or go to school, um, I don't know, I like that part of the day, but I'm a night owl. I will stay up till like 2, 3 in the morning, you know, without any coffee. I don't like to drink coffee, but yeah, just I can stay up super late, and I don't know. There's something about nighttime that I like. You know, if you go outside and you see you know, like seeing the stars and stuff like that. So I think it's in between that like really early morning sunrise time and then really, really late at night. What keeps you going? Um, well, I definitely have to say God. Um, you know, there's times where, you know, sometimes, you know, life gets to you, or certain situations that you might be going through kind of, you know, really start to drain you and affect you. And I would definitely say, you know, God and friends. Um, well, and family too, but I guess it just depends on what the situation is. Like, if I were having, you know, like family problems or something, you know, I wouldn't necessarily go to my family to talk about it, just because we clash heads a lot, you know. Sorry, my dog just came in here. Um, but I tend to talk to my friends about what's going on in like family life, and 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 I and then, you know, like vice versa. So I would definitely have to say um, family, friends, and God. Um, you guys give me 1 second. My dog just came in here and opened the door, so I'm just gonna close the door really quick. Okay. So yeah, that's what gets me going. Will you go out to breakfast with Vivi on Saturday? We actually did. We went to go have IHOP. We celebrated my little sister's birthday. She turned 12. Crazy. So yeah, we did. I did go to breakfast with you on Saturday. Who do you look up to? Ooh, that's a tough one. I look up to a lot of people. I have a lot of people I looked up to for different things, you know. Um, I I definitely look up to my mom as far as enduring hardship. Um, you know, she's been through a lot of crazy stuff, and so I I I just look up to her as far as, you know, how strong she is and how she deals with certain situations. So I definitely look up to my mom for, you know, in that case. Um, I There's so many different ways I guess I could go about answering this question, but yeah, I think for now, I think I'm just gonna say my mom. I look up to my mom. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Well, hopefully in 5 years, I'll have my career established. God willing. Um, you know, I'll be doing what I like to do. Um, Hopefully, if God allows me or if it's in his plans for me within these next 5 years, um, I would definitely like to, if not have a family already, at least in the process of having a family. Um, that's something I definitely look forward to in life is, um, you know, marriage and family. So hopefully, if it's in God plans in 5 years, I'll have that, or you know, even later. But I definitely want to have have my career established first before I do any of that. Um, so last question from Vivi. She asks, "Is Vivi in your life in 5 years?" Um, yeah, you've been in my life for 10 years. What's another 5 years, right? um, so those are the questions I got from Alibama, Fabiola, and Vivi. I did get one question through text, so let me just open that up really quick. So, a good friend of ours, or mine, well, ours, George Alvarez, hi George, he asks, how has the change from high school to college been? Well, I didn't go straight from high school to like a 4-year college, you know, like I mentioned earlier, I did after I graduated high school. I took a college readiness class program, I guess, at the JC. And so, right, I think it was maybe like a month after I graduated, I started that college readiness program. And it was about 2 weeks long. It wasn't very long. And then started school within a month at the JC. I actually was part of a college transfer program my very first year at the JC. So that really helped me kind of like settle down into like it helped me transition from high school to college, and they were really helpful and understanding, and they really, I learned a lot about college that first year through that program. So my transition from, I guess, high school to college was very smooth, and but I definitely would say that right now my transition from a community college to a 4-year college is a little patchy. I'm still, it's kind of weird, you know, after, you know, doing 3 years of community college, and, you know, I really got to know the campus and all the resources, and I, you know, established a good network there at the community college. So from going to being so from going to being, you know, super established to not really knowing anyone, not knowing where to go for help, or not knowing where certain um, things are, it's been kind of tough. Um, so hopefully, I mean, and I'm only there for 2 years, so Hopefully by the end of this year, I start kind of getting used to it and start, you know, networking and meeting new people and stuff. So, yeah, that transition has been a little difficult. And then, yeah, because, you know, back at the JC, it was our classes were twice a week, and here I only have classes once a week, and they're really long. They're like 2 to 3 hours each class. So it's really weird adjusting to that schedule. And then just remembering to do my homework and everything because I have a whole week to do it. So I think that transition has been a little bit more difficult than the other one. So before I answer any more questions, most of you guys that are watching through YouTube. So if you guys would do us the biggest favor and subscribe down below to our channel. We will be when we do Google Hangouts and our Q&As. So I'm the first one to do the Q&A, and we're going to be having a Q&A with Benny Fuego, Ruthie-san, and Joe. So we'll be doing it through here. So just so you guys can, you know, get your notifications and keep up with us, follow us, or I mean, subscribe down to our YouTube channel. Definitely like us on Facebook. We post a lot of our, you know, our new episodes and announcements and things like that on there also. So on Facebook, we're the Chop Shop Podcast. On Twitter, we're @_ the Chop Shop. So you guys can follow us also on Twitter. And on Instagram, we are the CS Podcast. So we post regularly on all 3 of those platforms. Well, 4, I guess, including YouTube. But mostly Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We update them fairly regularly. And then whenever we do these Google Hangouts and stuff, we have them on our YouTube channel. So just better safe than sorry. You know, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, so you guys can, you know, keep up with us and know whenever we have a new episode, or, you know, just to know what we're up to, I guess. So going on to the next question. Sorry if it looks super bright, or my face just looks super bright. I did open up a web page for the question, so I'll put it down a little bit. So I'll answer just a few more questions. Well, the ones that I've got, and then, oh, that's way too dark. Oh, that's way too light. Okay, I think that's good. So I'll answer just a few more questions, and then let me see if anyone has commented on the YouTube because if you guys didn't know that, if you guys are watching right now, if you didn't know, we are actually, I mean, you can actually comment down below on the video. So if you have any other questions that I didn't answer that you want to know about, you can comment them below on the comment bar, and I'll be refreshing it, you know, every other question or so. So I have about 10 more questions, and then if there are any more questions, then I'm sad to let you guys go after these questions. But I mean, hopefully you guys get to know a little bit about me and what I'm about and who I am, you know, off the Chop Shop, on the Chop Shop, on Evelin's News Corner, and, you know, the news reporter and whatnot. But yeah, this is a different side of me, I would say. Oh, I totally forgot I had another question through text. So let me answer that first before I answer these ones. So Ruthie-san asks, if you could meet and chat with any philanthropist, who would you choose? So someone like, like Cesar Chavez, someone who created social change and whatnot. I think it would be between, I would want to sit down with either Cesar Chavez or Martin Luther King. I am really into, like social justice and things like that. And so it would be really interesting to, sit down with them and just hear about the struggles that they went through and how it is that they came to do the work that they did. These two very powerful, men created a lot of social change in our country. So I would definitely, I think it would have to be, maybe we can do like a little Starbucks date or something with me, Cesar Chavez, and Martin Luther King. But yeah, I think it would have to be those two people that I would meet with and chat with. What would you change about yourself if you could? If I could change something about myself, I think I would want to better control my emotions, I guess. I'm a really emotional person, so and my emotions are like to the extreme. So if I'm mad, I'm really mad. If I'm happy, I'm really happy. If I'm sad, I'm really sad. So I think if I could change something, it would be that, is to have better control over my emotions, and I guess just handle them in a healthier way. Not that I don't already, but yeah, I think that's something I would change about myself if I could. Well, I guess I can. I can change that. It's kind of hard, but yeah, that's what I would change about myself. What is your biggest complaint about your job? um, this is actually kind of funny because just yesterday, me and I don't know if I should call her my boss or my supervisor. I guess she's kind of my supervisor. So I work at the JC, and I am basically an embedded tutor or a teacher's assistant, whatever you want to call it. So what I do is I'm assigned certain classes, or like the teachers pick who they want to help with their classes, and I got picked for 2 classes. So I help an English class and an ESL class. And so basically what I do is I go to their class and I sit in the class, and I help them with the classroom assignments or managing their group discussions if they're doing group work, passing out papers, grading papers, things like that. And so I guess my biggest complaint is when the students don't come prepared to. It's kind of funny being on the other side, like being on the teacher side and not being on the student side, because sometimes I do understand, like, oh, I have other work, or I was too lazy or whatever. But I guess now that I'm on the other, like on the teacher side, it gets really frustrating and aggravating when students don't come prepared, and it kind of like throws your whole day off, because like I mean, I don't want to consider myself an instructor because I'm not an instructor, but along with the instructor, like, we come up with all these activities to do, with the students and stuff. And mind you, these are college students. So these are, 18 plus 8-year-old students, you know, so I guess I do expect a lot more from them, but it's kind of aggravating when they don't come prepared to work, to school, you know, to be ready to work and be ready to, you know, get things done. And then, so I think that's my biggest complaint. And it was funny because me and, you know, the teacher that I work with for one of the classes, we let them go early, and we just stayed after class complaining to each other about how we felt, and like, oh, you know, that student, like, you know, like, what are we gonna do with them? And so, yeah, that's my biggest complaint about my job. But I love it. I love helping them, and I like when they're, you know, super into it, and they're like, hey, like, I need help with this, or hey, like, what do you think about this, or, you know, like, I really like to be super involved with them and, you know, help them out and stuff. So when I really see them, you know, putting in effort and trying really hard, um, that kind of balances the negative side of it, I guess. Um, what what oh, what makes you laugh the most? Hmm. Um, this is gonna sound really mean, but I think it's so funny when people fall or when they trip. I think that can make me laugh, like, super easily. Like, if I see someone, like, like the other day, I was walking to school and I saw this guy. He was like riding his skateboard to school, and he was trying to like do some super cool trick on his skateboard, and he tripped. I don't know what he tripped on, but he like, I don't know. He was so close to eating dirt, you know, and it was so funny, and I tried so hard not to laugh. Like, I kind of just like smiled a little bit and walked fast so I could laugh, you know, without him hearing me. But I don't know, I think it's fun. Like, when anybody laughs, like, you, or whenever anybody falls, like little kids or something, and they fall or so, oh my gosh, it's so funny. So that makes me laugh. um what would you sing at karaoke night? Interesting question. What would I sing at karaoke night? I've been to a karaoke night, and we sang "Beautiful Girls" by Sean Kingston. Probably like anything, you know, with a beat or rhythm to it, I would probably sing. Mm, which would you rather do? Wash dishes, mow the lawn, clean the bathroom, or vacuum the house? Well, I guess it depends. I've always wanted to mow a lawn. Is that weird? Like, I've always lived in apartment. Well, for the exception of once, but for the most part, I've always lived in apartments. So I've never really had a lawn to mow or anything. And the one house that we didn't have a lawn. We just had like a little front yard, but it was like bark, so it wasn't grass. I wouldn't clean the bathroom. I mean, I would if I had to, but I I don't think I would choose that one. I think I'd either wash the dishes or vacuum the house. One of those two. I like washing the dishes when no one's home. You know, like when it's just me by myself. Like, I could clean the whole house by myself in like an hour or so. And but when my parents are home, when there's other people home, like, you know when you're doing something and then your parents come to you and they're like, "Oh, can you do this? Can you do that?" Like, it annoys me because I know what I have to do, you know, like I know I have to take out the trash, clean the whatever. Like, I know what I have to do. So when they're like constantly like telling me, okay, like if I'm washing the dish and they're like, "Oh, you have to do that. Like, hurry up, you have to do that." It's like, ugh. So I would much rather clean the house when I'm home alone. And I guess I'd rather wash the dishes. I like washing dishes. Um, if you could eat only, if you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? Oh my gosh, this is so easy. Arroz and huevos estrellados. So I love Mexican rice with sunny side eggs. Oh my gosh. And then tortillas. Oh, that's like I could eat that forever and I won't get tired of it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it so much. So that's the one meal I would eat for the rest of my life. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call from San Diego. I don't know anyone there. I mean, I do, but an 800 number. Do you like or dislike surprises? Why or why not? Oh my gosh, I love surprises. I love, love, love surprises. And I especially love giving them. Like, I love surprising people with stuff, whether it's a birthday party or, you know, just like a random like gesture or something. I don't know. Let's see, why do I like them? Well, I guess I like them because you're not expecting it, you know? So if you're having a really bad day and someone surprises you with something, you know, it just makes your day better. Or even if you're having a really, really good day and they surprise you with something, you're just like, oh, like you just made my day even better. So you can't really go wrong with surprises, I guess, unless the person you don't like them, then, you know, because there are people who don't like surprises, which I think is super weird. But I personally, I love surprises. And just because I'm not expecting it, you know, so I love surprises for that reason. Let's see. We have 3 more questions, and then I haven't had any new ones come up since we, you know, went live. So let me just check just to make sure. But I believe I haven't gotten any new questions. So after these, you know, these 3 questions, then we'll probably have to call it a day. Because I don't, not because I don't want to, like I would love to sit here and just talk with you guys for like hours and hours and hours, but I don't want the video to go on like super long and then, you know what I mean, like have people not even watch it all the way through because you're literally just looking at my face right now. So I don't know if you guys would really want to look at my face for another hour. But if you could go back in time, what year would you travel to? Oh my gosh, this is the best question ever. Well, if you guys already know me, you guys know that I love like the 1920s, 30s, from like the 1920s to like the 1960s. Though, like, oh my gosh, I just love that time period. I'm especially the I would say 1920s and 1960s. Like, yeah. Yeah, that's like my favorite like time period. Like I love the movie Grease. It's my favorite movie, and I actually, for my 21st birthday, I had a Grease themed party. So it was super fun seeing everybody dressed up like Greaser and like, you know, like Greaser style. So I love just that fashion time period. I also like the rockabilly type style. I love that. Like the movie Cry Baby with Johnny Depp. Oh, I love that movie. And yeah, so I like the Greaser rockabilly type, Pachuco style, you know? So yeah, definitely. And the music too. I'm a sucker for oldies. Like, oh my gosh, when I was younger, my sister and I had stacks like literally like this big of a bunch of CDs that we had burned, with a bunch of just like oldies mixtapes. And that's another thing I really like to do is I haven't done it in a really long time. I think I guess I just have to feel inspired or find someone who actually would enjoy it. But I used to burn CDs for, it's not funny. I used to burn CDs for boys that I liked and for my friends. And just because, you know, they tended to like the same music that I did, you know, like oldies and slow jams and stuff like that. So I'm super into that type of music. So I would do like customized mixtapes and stuff for them and burn them on a CDs and give it to them, you know, and like write a cute little note or something on the CD. See, I'm so cheesy. Oh my gosh. Like now I feel like doing that for somebody. Well, hey, maybe if you guys want a customized CD by me with slow jams and oldies, yeah, let me know. Like comment on the video or tweet me at _Evelin S or at _ the chop shop. And let me know and I'll totally make a CD for you guys and send it to you. I'll limit it to like 2 CDs though. So yeah. So yeah, I totally went off on that question too. But yeah, I guess that's my favorite time period or the year I would travel to, I guess. If money was no object, what would you do all day? Let's see, what would I do all day? I would eat. So like I would like to go to like different restaurants throughout the day, like one for breakfast, one for lunch, and one for dinner, and just try different foods. Obviously, if money was an issue, then gas shouldn't be an issue either. So if I was able to just like fill up my tank every 100 miles or so, like I would totally go and like road trip for a whole day. So I think that's what I would do. I would road trip somewhere, have different types of food, and then road trip somewhere else and do the same thing. That's what I would do. Okay, so last question. How many pillows do you sleep with? I sleep with 2 pillows. Yeah, well, yeah, I sleep with 2 pillows. So what I have, like, you know, this is kind of embarrassing, but I still have a few stuffed animals that I've kept, like really special ones. Just only 2. But I put them first, and then I put like my flat pillow, you know. It's not flat, but it's not as fluffy. So I put that, and then my favorite pillow, my only favorite pillow, is I have a pillow made like, it's like stuffed with feathers. So it's super, super comfortable and so soft. And that's the one I sleep with on top. And so I guess if you had to count the stuffed animals, that would kind of count as 1 pillow. So then maybe it's 3 pillows. But they're not really pillows. So 2 legit pillows. So that is the last question. And for this video, I really did want to, oh, it doesn't even tell me, oh, how long are we at? Oh, we're at like 47 minutes. That's really long, you guys. Well, just for a little bit, I really wanted to get this chance to, I guess, talk a little bit. You know, we had some fun, you know, answering questions and you guys asking me questions and getting to know a little bit about, you know, me, what I like and stuff like that, and, you know, a lot of personal stuff. But I definitely want to take in some time and, you know, talk about, I guess, my walk with the Lord. I am Christian. I know sometimes my behavior and attitude might not portray that, unfortunately, but I do believe in Jesus, and you know, I do attend a local church, and I guess I don't want to take up too much time and talk about too much about you know, like my whole testimony, because that would require a whole nother video, like another hour-long video or so. But I guess really some of the really major things, I guess, in my life that really made me turn to God, and I guess without those things happening to me, I don't think I would have came back. I was when we were younger. I wasn't necessarily brought up in the church. I For a while, my family we were Catholic, and we didn't really go to church or anything. And then actually, the reason why we started going to church is because one of my dad's friends from back in Mexico, he they met in Mexico, and he was friends with my dad's family and everything, and he was going to a church here in Santa Rosa, and he had invited us, but my dad wasn't really into it, and my mom was, she's like, yeah, like, we'll go. And so he would pick us up every Sunday to take us to church, and this was all when I was like 4.5 or 5, because I remember I was about 5 years old when they like presented us, I guess, as a family at the church. So I was about 5 when I started going to COGOP, or Church of God of Prophecy, which is the organization. So I was about 5 years old. So I guess technically, I in that sense, I was raised in church from a really young age. But I think when you're that young, you don't really understand, how important God is in your life, and how important it is to have a relationship with Him. At least I didn't when I was younger. I was just like, oh yeah, church, like, you're not allowed to do this and you're not allowed to do that, and yeah, we believe in God, and that was it. But it I during like my teenage years, I definitely had a time where I stopped coming to church, and I was associated with the wrong crowd, and I was into drugs and alcohol at a really, really young age. Like, I mean, I'm so not proud of. I mean, I'm not proud of this, but it's definitely part of my life. But I started drinking and smoking when I was like 12. So really, really young, I was exposed to all these things, and I definitely feel like I grew up really fast. Um, I was exposed to a lot of things that a 12, 13-year-old should not experience, but that was the path that I ended up going down. And then during high school, I kind of calmed down a little bit more. I kind of me cayó el 20. I don't know how to say that in English, but I kind of came to this realization that, okay, like, I shouldn't be doing these things, and this isn't good for me. And so I kind of started coming back to church, and, it's kind of on and off. And a really, let me wait till this goes away. Okay. A really, really serious thing, I guess, that really impacted my life and was kind of my, like, I wouldn't say breaking point, but I guess in a way it was my breaking point. It just kind of made me realize, like, okay, Evelyn, like life is going, and life can stop at any minute, and you can, waste the opportunity that you have, and destroy yourself, or you can live with a purpose, and you know do something with your life and leave an impact. And so when I was 15, at this time I was living with my aunt, because my family was kind of in a weird situation. So we were all kind of in different places. My older sister was in Chicago. My younger sister and my mom were in Mexico, and my dad, he was around, but he was renting in an apartment, and he worked 2 jobs, so he wasn't able to take me to school. So I had to move in with my aunt. And so my cousin and I we were really, really close, and we were close in age too. We were only a week apart. And in 2010, about 5 years ago, we were walking back home, and was she was hit by a car, and she died that night from I forgot what it's called, but basically blood, like her skull cracked, and blood went into her brain and stuff. So the doctors weren't able to really do anything. So she died that night. And it was really hard because definitely with death comes a lot of grief, comes a lot of anger, a lot of mixed emotions. And just for those of you who have lost anybody, kind of know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of mixed emotions. You don't really don't know what to feel. And for a 15-year-old to experience that, and I mean, actually see that person, die in front of you, is, it's really intense. And it really made a really big impact in my life. And it kind of just made me realize, like, okay, the life that you're living it's not a life that's acceptable, and it's not a life that is really going to take you anywhere. And so from then on, I mean, I could have definitely, been angry at everybody, and gone back to, alcohol and drugs and stuff, or attempting suicide or anything like that. But I think this was definitely part of God's plan, and I didn't go back to any of that. And I kind of just dealt with it. And I turned to God, and I was like, okay, like, this is happening for a reason. And I probably don't know, I don't know what it is, but this is going to help me somehow. And so I started coming back to church, and I started really taking it seriously, and really trying to know more about God and Jesus, and apply the word to my life, and getting closer, and actually build a relationship with Jesus and everything. And so you know it hasn't really been easy. It's definitely still difficult trying to get rid of these past things, that sometimes it's kind of embarrassing, because I guess the reputation that I had or whatever was, um everybody knew it, like, oh, there's Evelyn, like, she's super, like, party girl, and she's so loud and fun and blah blah blah. So that still kind of follows me around, and it makes it a lot more difficult for me to really focus. But it definitely helps having people around me that reassure me, and that you know that really contribute to my spiritual life. So um yeah, I ever since that incident, I definitely have gotten a lot closer with the Lord, and I've learned a lot. And since then, um I got baptized, and I was also baptized with the Holy Spirit. And I've experienced God in so many different levels that it's unexplainable. Like that feeling of feeling the presence. And it's a beautiful feeling. And I encourage any and all of you guys to um, really pursue that, and really pursue a deeper relationship, um, and experience Jesus in that type of level. And yeah, it's not it's not an easy walk, you know, but it's definitely one that's worth it, and it's definitely a process, and it takes a lot of you know, courage. It takes a lot of patience and persistence, you know, and you know, I still lack some of those things, but I think the important thing is not um, kind of cheesy, you know, it's not how many times you fall, but it's how many times you get up, and that's kind of how I see it. Is it doesn't really matter. Um, you know, what life throws at you or how many times you're knocked down or what exactly happens to you, but it's more of how you react to it and how you're going to, are you going to let that affect you in a negative way? Are you going to let that control you, control your life? Or are you going to take control of it and say, you know what, like this is not the route I want to go. This is not the path I should be taking. And, you know, kind of just standing up for yourself. And, you know, um, you know, this situation, you know, this situation that I went through, and among many other experiences that I've had as a teenager up until these 21 years of age, I definitely can say that it's definitely formed me into a really strong person emotionally. I know a lot of people would definitely describe me as um, independent or strong, you know, but I think it's definitely been because of these experiences that I've kind of formed this character, like this really strong character that, you know, I'm not going to let these things affect me, or at least I don't like to show it, which is something that I for sure want to work on. Um, you know, I do tend to take on this identity that people have given me of strong, independent, and you know, I can hold my own, and you know what I mean. And I've definitely taken on this identity, and sometimes it's not really who I am. I am a very emotional person, and I feel a lot, and I'm definitely the type of person that I take on other people's feelings and I take on other people's pain. So I, you know, I definitely have to work on something like that. I feel like I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but um, yeah, that's, you know, apart from these fun questions and, um, you know, I definitely wanted to share a little bit about my story and a little bit of kind of where I come from and what's kind of contributed to my person and, you know, the person that I am. I don't often talk about these kinds of things, you know, especially on a video, but I hope that this can help someone, like anyone who comes across this video or sees it. I hope that you know, this can help you in any way, and know that, you know, there's other people that go through similar situations. So don't ever feel like you're the only one that goes through things, or that, you know, don't ever feel like, oh, I'm the only one that God's punishing. Like, no, you know, definitely don't see it that way. See it as an opportunity to grow and to you know, to better yourself and work on yourself, and you know, an opportunity. Think of it as kind of a door opening, as God opening a door for you and saying, you know, come in, like let's talk about things. You know, that's kind of how I saw it, and how I continue to see things when I, you know, when I'm going through hardships or anything like that. I see it as an open invitation from God, as, you know, saying, you know what, I need of that, you know, that higher power, that higher, you know, that strength that, you know, is not from this world. So um, that's a little bit about me, and I hope that you guys continue to support, you know, the Chop Shop, and continue to support what we're doing. And you know, we are always we welcome you guys to comment, to message us if you guys, you know, have any questions or anything like that. You know, feel free to contact us and Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. There's all different ways to be anonymous if you don't want to, you want to ask something or, have a question or anything. So, I mean, this was really fun, and I hope that, you guys really enjoyed this, and I really enjoyed opening up a little bit with you guys and just giving you guys a little piece of who I am and kind of, where I come from and types of things. So, if you have any further questions, even though we are coming to an end of this video, feel free to contact me through Twitter, __ Evelin S, or Instagram, Evelin Soul. Remember, Evelyn with an I. And yeah, so if any of this, applies to you, or you can get something away from this, I hope that I was able to help you in something, or even just to let you know that you're not alone in this. And yeah, so I'm gonna get going now. So thank you guys for tuning in to the first Chop Shop Q&A with me, Evelyn. And stay tuned, you guys, because Benny Fuego, Ruthie-san, and Joe will be doing one also. So again, follow us on Twitter at _the Chop Shop. Follow us on Instagram, the CS Podcast, and like us on Facebook, the Chop Shop Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you are able to keep up with the future videos that we post on here. We have a new episode coming out this week, so stay tuned for that. It drops Friday. So yeah, stay tuned for that episode. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. To all you viewers that tuned in, thank you. And I hope I didn't bore you guys. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time.